This is my week one, and if you didn't get the joke, I guess we're all week ones. Right? Yeah, so, and like I always thought like rehab was crazy because how do we get off a mixture of drugs just to get on a mixture of meds? What's up with that, right? I went a couple days without Atarax and realized my world's going good, and I was like, wait, no, that's not how this works. I need it. I'm anxious. The best part is when they ask me for when I get it at bedtime. Like, I don't have, nightmares. I'm not anxious of my dreams. There we go, Cord, work with me. I'm not anxious of my dreams. I took my first muscle relaxer the other day. It was crazy. I had this dream of an old Jewish couple talking about who turned off the humidifier. So, the vulnerable nurse, Dakota, is to see me in the morning. And I go, I had this crazy dream. She goes, oh yeah? I go, yeah. She goes, I don't know how people do that. I go, they're called addicts. During the day, mostly. And they're also called professional sports players if they do it with booze. A lot of my comedy I get from my daughter. She writes a lot of my jokes for me. If you can't tell, come on, Corey. Here we go. No, where's the headphone thing, right? We do the headphone thing. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm not moving. Okay. So yeah, I get a lot of jokes from my daughter. She helps me write though. A couple of jokes that she helped me write were dad jokes, like roses are red, violets are blue. You were supposed to be good luck, but your mother gave birth to you. And another one is like, oh, I bought a sculpture in the shape of a dog, bark free. She's 8. What do you want from her, right? What do you want from her? So sure enough, I am a comedian, and she knows this, and she also helps me with changing words in our house so that I don't swear. We're a Mormon family. We want to draw the line. Of course, I'm here now. Not a very good Mormon. So we decided to do poop words, right? Poop jokes, and she made a list for me. And she goes, Dad, this is what you're going to say on stage. I said, perfect. So I said, what do we call a fart? She goes, that's a butt sneeze. Okay. Right? I go, what? I go, okay, what about this? And I go and I fart, and a little comes out. And I stand up, and she's like shocked. She's like, what's happening? I'm like, you gotta move. And I go clean up, and I come back. She goes, Dad, what happened? What happened? I said, I had a shart. She goes, what's a shart? Now, I believe in complete honesty. I don't lie to my daughter. I said, that's a shit fart. She goes, language. I go, I know. So I go, what do we call it then? She goes, come back to me in a couple days. She does that, right? I come back to her, I said, hey, what do we call a shark? She goes, we're gonna call those booty boogers. So when you have a butt sneeze, and a little stuff comes out, it's booty boogers. I said, oh, like sometimes Dad gets a little hard on his boobs. He goes, oh, yeah, I know those. I go, I call those hard donkeys. I go, why? Because when you're pushing, the face you make, right? Now, I am married, graciously, to a half-Asian woman. And then, of course, we get into arguments and I say weird things. And she goes and she knows how to push my buttons. But most recently, we had a debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. It was beautiful, right? Anyways, he had this line that keeps getting, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, okay? So my wife tells me that I'm doing something wrong, and I just say something stupid like, that's it, I'm eating the cat. And this is what she says to me. She goes, cook it, you better cook it better. And I go, what do you mean by that? She goes, I'm half Asian, I know the tastes. Now, of course, I am in recovery just like most of you, and we want to find the light in our addiction. But sometimes we don't know if we're in the wrong, right? We always think that we're doing right. We always think that we're doing the right thing in our addiction. Now, I myself am a recovering alcoholic now, but in my midst of my addiction, I couldn't admit one thing. Okay? This is the story of that, where my wife decided to reconsider our marriage. Okay? So, you guys all know Theo Vaughn, right? He came to the Great Outdoors Festival. Now, I go and I have a couple drinks with complete strangers, and I make it my whole thing to make them hate me. Sure enough, I do that. It's easy when you're a drunk. Yeah? Sure enough, they leave, the lights are off, and I get a text, I'm here. But I'm in the middle of grabbing all the wine bottles and bringing them back to my table as if they're like little side quests that I need to get. And I start drinking them, and my stomach starts churning. Because I haven't really ate anything, but it just churns, the butter churns, right? And I'm like, feeling pretty good, I'm feeling all right. And then it just hits me and it turns that corner. We all been there. And I go to the outhouse and I sit down and I go, I can't do it here. Cannot do it here, right? Little did I know, it took a 15-minute walk to a 45-minute walk. And she goes, where have you been? I go, well, right? You know how we all sound, right? She's like, okay, fine. She drives us home, she gets me in bed, I'm fully dressed. Now, here's the thing about alcohol. You fall asleep fine, but you wake up to something like, is that shit on the wall? I go, what do you mean? She goes, what do I mean? Is that shit on the wall? I get up, I'm in my pajamas, I don't even what time is it? What, am I in another dimension? Who poops on the wall? Oh. And of course my daughter gets up and goes, that's gross, and goes to to her tablet. Good daughter. So I pieced it all together. Now I am a 240-pound man, and that man decided to go poop when he was blackout drunk. Only this is the problem. I got to the bathroom fully naked, and I go to grab the toilet seat to lift it up because I'm a gentleman, and I fall back, and I hit the wall, and I look down, and I see a mop bucket. Now here's the thing about being drunk. You think you have aim. If piss is bad, poop is way worse. So what I thought was a full good load into the mop bucket was just down the wall, and I wiped myself and I went to bed. I know, right? And so here's the thing, when we get into arguments about it, I go, and she just goes, remember shit on the wall? That's you, guy. So it's crazy, I quit smoking cigarettes 13 years ago. Right. Not so cool though, I wish I could keep smoking cigarettes because there's a certain age gap where, if you're 25, quit now. But if you're 35, keep going. Because here's the thing, it looks cool to smoke when you're over the age of 35. You light up a smoke after a good trauma dump. Now when I just talked about shit, I gotta clarify something. A lot of the medications makes us constipated. Okay, so we go in there and we trauma bond, but it's a hard trauma dump, okay? So you trauma dump, you light a smoke in the rain and you look cool and you're just thinking about life, it's amazing. For me, I look at that guy that knows everything and he's lighting a smoke and he dabs it out in the cigarette ash, then he lights another one and he knows all the knowledge that the spy should know. That's cool. So next time someone says that you should quit smoking, hand them a cigarette, tell them to light it. And when they're like, you can be like, that's not cool. Grab it and go, I'm cool. So I don't want to keep you two guys here too much longer, so I'll give you a couple jokes here. What do a prostitute and a recovering addict have in common? They both need mystery meat to get them through the day. And of course, you know, I can't forget my daughter. I wrote this joke with her in mind. So do we have any parents in the crowd? Come on. Do we have any parents in the crowd? I'm a dad myself, if you haven't heard. And so I felt like a dad for the first time ever. You know, I taught my daughter how to ride her bike. Okay? It was beautiful. We went from grass to gravel to grass. It was awesome. I taught her how to ride a bike, okay? That's 2 wheels on concrete. Let's go, okay? So I decided, you know what? Now's the time to have a bike ride. Me and her, no problem. 2 wheels on the ground. Let's go. Everyone was having a great day. A great day. Birds were singing. Sun was up. Everyone was having a great day. Except for the bus driver that hit her. I know. But she still has 2 wheels on the ground. It's just a chair. Now I went and I told her this joke because she's my best friend and I don't want to hide anything from her. You know, I told her that joke and she looked up at me with her beautiful big eyes, her beautiful bright brown eyes, and she said those 3 words that every parent wants to hear. You know, those 3 words. You're a failure. I've been Josh Muse. Thank you for coming out to Comedy Night.